Hi, what's going on, everybody? We are back with the Week 11 Fix. This is our weekly video series where we pick every single game against the spread. This is essentially turned into pretty much everybody against me, and let's look at what the current standings are. As of right now, everybody is doing better than me. Last week, everybody else, which was Billy Truelove in this case, went 6-8 for an overall record of 77-72, which ultimately means if you're betting the same on every single game, you're ahead. Last week, I gained a game, went 7-7, and so now I am 69-80, so still not as good as everybody else, and betting the same on every single week, which obviously you wouldn't do. And nobody's going to go out and put money on every single one of these games. I'm the worst. So anyway, let's get into the Week 11 slate. So Chris, our Thursday night game is the New England Patriots going to the Atlanta Falcons. And so we have a big beating and a big beatdown going against each other. The Patriots are favored by 7. What are you thinking for this one?
The Falcons are a weird team because they're either feast or famine to me, it feels like. And I don't know. I think with Mac Jones still being a rookie, I'm gonna take the Falcons in this one, being at 6.5.
7, I believe, is what this one is.
It gone up to 7 now? Gotcha.
Yeah, so in any event, that shouldn't really change anything. I'm going to go with the Patriots. I don't really trust the Falcons. I know that we got a lot of emotional energy being spent and taken this last weekend, but I just think the Patriots are a better team and ended up winning, on the road by more than a touchdown. So next one, we got Indy going to Buffalo. Buffalo's favored by 7. Where are you going this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills on this one. I know the Colts have been fairly salty and playing close games, but I think Buffalo's I think they're starting to hit their stride, and I was really taken aback by their defensive rankings this year to go along with Josh Allen doing what he's doing. So I'll take the Bills.
Yeah, stride part 2 for the Bills, but I don't know, that Indy running game I think keeps this one close. So I think they are salty, and I'm gonna go with the Colts in this one to at least cover the spread. I think the Bills still get this one done at home, but Jonathan Taylor is going to have a day. All right, so the next one, we have the Baltimore Ravens going to the Chicago Bears. Baltimore is favored on the road by 4.5. I'm going Baltimore on this one. I just think they're a better team.
They're a better team, but I was actually pretty impressed by what Justin Fields did late in the game against the Steelers, and I'm not sold on the Ravens defense. So even though it's 4.5, I like the Bears to keep this close.
All right. Up next, we go to the Detroit can't score any points Lions, or move the ball for that matter. So we've got them going to a Cleveland team that was embarrassed by New England, and the Browns are favored by 11.5. So it looks like Vegas is thinking that the Browns are going to be up for this one, and I agree with them. I think Cleveland just stomps Detroit.
Yeah, it's going to be. I believe Nick Chubb should be back for that game because I think he tested positive, but he's vaccinated. And yeah, it all really kind of banks on the health of Baker Mayfield in a way. That's a pretty big line at 11.5. I'm actually going to take the Lions on this one. I like what DeAndre Swift is doing, and I think that they keep getting closer and closer to a victory. I'm not saying they're going to win this game, but I think they'll keep it closer than 11.5.
Got it. All right. Next one, we have Houston going to Tennessee. The Titans are favored by 10 at home. Where are you going this one?
Oh, Tennessee all the way.
Yeah, me too. No question. All right, then we have the Green Bay Packers going to the Minnesota Vikings. The Packers are favored by 2 on the road. What are you thinking with this one? Are Brian's Kirk Cousins going to have a day at home, or are they going to mess up and continue the fire the entire coaching staff and never let them, coach again chance that seemed to be going on up there?
Yeah, I think the Packer defense is playing really well right now, and I can't see them. Uh, they're definitely going to win this game by at least a field goal. So I'll take Green Bay.
Yep, I agree with you there. All right, so then we have Miami, fresh off their beating of Baltimore, going to the New York Jets, who will be starting Joe Flacco, and the Dolphins are favored by 3 on the road in New York. I'm going
Uh,
with the Dolphins here.
I am too. Joe Flacco. I just why?
It's Joe
I'd
Flacco.
rather
Oh, yeah,
I'd rather roll the dice with Mike White and
yeah,
go with Joe Flacco. But yeah, give me the Dolphins.
exactly. All right, then we have the Saints going to Philadelphia, where the Eagles are favored by 1.5, which means they're not favored against the Jameis Winston New Orleans Saints. And the Eagles are coming off a big win against the Broncos when Teddy Bridgewater was a horrible linebacker. I'm going with the Eagles at home.
Well, they're actually it's the Jameis Winston less
Yeah,
Saints, but
yeah, it's
man,
true.
they really hung with Tennessee last week, and they were very close to tying that game late. So I'm actually going to err on the side of Sean Payton, and he's getting the most out of the squad. I'm going to take the Saints.
Got it. All right. Well, as of right now, we picked 8 games and we're split on 5 of them. So I think that the score differential is going to change one way or another.
Yeah, you might make up
Next
some
game.
ground here.
Yeah, exactly. Next game, we have the Washington football team going to Carolina with the newly Cam Newton, who should be starting this week. The Panthers are favored by 3.5. What are you thinking for this one?
I like the Panthers just because the football team's defense is really struggled. Now Chase Young is going to be out for the rest of the year, so I'll take Carolina.
I agree with you 100%. All right. San Francisco travels across the country to Jacksonville, and it looks like that is still an early game. So this is a noon game for the 49ers in Jacksonville. What do you have for this one?
I think it's going to be closer than a touchdown. I'm going to take Jacksonville in this one.
I'm thinking that's going to be the case as well with San Francisco by 6. I've got to go with Jacksonville on that early game. Yeah, that's kind of sadistic to do to the 49ers on a short week. So
Yeah.
with all the emotional energy they're going to have. All right, next we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who were in first place in the AFC a few weeks ago, going to Las Vegas, where we just were, and they're favored by 1. I'm going with the Bengals on this one.
Yeah, I am too. I think the Raiders are on the verge of a tailspin, and yeah, I think the Bengals are. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and they're not going to have some long losing streaks. So I think they're catching the Raiders at the right time.
Yep, for sure. Okay. Then we have America's game of the week, Dallas going to Kansas City. The Chiefs are favored at home by 2.5, which means they're barely favored at home. In fact, they're by half a point, technically not favored at home, because usually you get the 3 points for the home field advantage. Where are you going on this one?
I'm going to be a homer here and take the Chiefs.
Got it. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I think that the Chiefs have turned the corner, and you got to expect they're going to win by at least a field goal at home against a really good team. So
this is purely a rooting for my prediction situation. So
yep, for sure. All right, then we have Arizona going to Seattle, and neither one of these teams looked very good last week. Arizona is favored by 2.5. I'm thinking the 12th man has to do something this weekend.
okay. Yeah, I mean the first reports on Kyler Murray this week. Again, he might play this week. I think it's all going to depend on that. If he doesn't play, I like Seattle, but I think he's going to play. So give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, he might look rusty too. That's kind of seemed to be a thing this year as well. So, all right, then a couple more left. Sunday night football is Pittsburgh going to the LA Chargers for Sunday night football. The Chargers are favored by 5.5 at quote unquote home Sunday night. So I think I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to rebound. Big Ben should be out of his COVID protocol at this point, and if the Raiders are going into a tailspin, I think that the Chargers are going into a little bit of a slide as well. So I'm going with the Steelers.
Looking up TJ Watt's stats real quick. Yeah, because I mean, with Pittsburgh's defense, it's hard to beat them, more by one score. I like the Chargers to win, but I think the Steelers are gonna cover.
Yep. All right. And then Monday Night Football, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the New York Giants and whoever they happen to put on the field with Daniel Jones that day.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks are favored by 11. Where are you going on Monday Night Football?
I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I mean, they're coming off a loss, and they're gonna want to go out there and assert themselves again. I'm just not a believer in the Giants at all. So yeah, Tampa.
Yep, I agree with you. And it looks like we have 6 where we're split. So this score is going to look different next week. And everybody enjoy the slate of games this week. And until next week, take care.